week has been a busy week for us. We're tilling ground and planting grain and hauling manure, kind of a combination of all the above. Here's my youngest son tilling with our McCormick 165 tractor, and we have a 16-foot Salford vertical tillage, and that thing does tremendous in rocks. I mean, it is like we have never yet broke anything on that thing with rocks. We've had that thing probably 12 to 14 years now. We've replaced the discs on it twice, I think, and the rolling basket in the back. We're gonna get new ones for it, and talked to a local welding shop, and they were able to rebuild the ones that we have for a fraction of the cost of new ones, because yeah, they were getting worn pretty bad. But yeah, we've had this tractor probably, it's probably been at least as long as at least 12 to 15 years as well. It's been a really good tractor for us. It's got a chip in it that's turned up to about 185 horsepower. Haven't videoed much over here, but we're still working at filling this hole in. Yeah, there's a couple different piles of stuff here. There's a pile, some trash here needs gotten rid of. I say trash, old junky stuff, anything from A to Z on it. Brick, old pavers, a couple tree branches. And over there's a bigger pile of fill that's more subsoil. It's fairly clean, it's a little bit stony. And then here's a pile that's got some pretty decent topsoil in it. This one load had some trash in it, but most of it's pretty decent. But yeah, they brought several loads of stuff in yesterday down here and dumped some old pavement, and I'm not sure what all it is. Something they dug up somewhere. So I'm gonna push that in so they have room to keep dumping stuff there. The field my youngest son's tilling in is back right there, back on the hill from this dump site. Then up on top of the hill is some of that sorghum that we have to chop. We're hoping to chop it next week. We're talking about a chance of frost here. There, maybe Thursday night into Friday morning. I'm kind of hoping it don't, but yet if it does, yeah, it'll kill it, and then we'll have to make sure we be careful with that. I forget what they call it, the toxin it can get, that if you make it too soon after it frosts, it can make cows bloat. I think you got to wait about a week after that. We're planting triticale today too. Again, this is Wednesday. Yeah, we had tried that one other drill out just to kind of as a demo, and it planted well, but I don't think it would handle rocks very well. But anyway, this is our own John Deere drill, and we'll keep using it for now. Yeah, I should say this yet about our drill. And rebuilt not too long before we bought it, and we've used it, I'm gonna guess, close to 15 years now, if not a little more than that. And it's been a really good drill for us. It can handle rocks very, very well. Our John Deere drill. We do need to rebuild, either rebuild a bunch of stuff under the bottom or get something a little different. And other than that, it seems in pretty good shape. So most likely we'll probably end up rebuilding it for now till another year, not this fall anymore. But like a lot of the pivot points down there on the rows, and the disc openers are getting worn, just a lot of stuff like that. But it still plants very, very well. That other drill did a tremendous job planting, but we ended up bending a couple disc openers on some rocks, and I was like, man, we've never done that with our drill. So yeah, we only planted 45 acres with it, and it wasn't like they were big rocks sticking up. They were just rocks in the ground that we normally plant right over. So anyway, other than that, we really like that drill, the one we tried for a little bit. But yeah, we're done here. We're probably gonna plant it close to 400 acres, or maybe a little more than that, of small grain. Probably 40 acres of wheat to combine, and about 125 of oats and radishes just for a cover crop. I'm not sure the final count here, probably between 2 and 220 acres of triticale to take off for forage next spring. And then, yeah, there might be 30, 40 acres of either some wheat that we have left or triticale that's left, and a couple other fields for cover crop. But, so yeah, total we're going to end up with somewhere around 425 acres we'll planted this fall. We've got well over half of it in until we're done today. Yeah, there'll be more than half of everything in. Most of the triticale will be in and all that cover crop. So next week we'll try to get the rest of the triticale in and get our probably get our wheat planted in too. So yeah, we'll try to keep you updated, posted as we go. That tree line there behind the tractor and drill is our fence line on this farm. There's a cornfield on the other side of that that's not ours. Yeah, it's a neighbor's farm there. Yeah, well, I'm doing the feeding here this morning. It's Thursday, October the 10th, I believe it is, yeah. And we have an ag bag that we had left over from last year that we're feeding out of, and it's just about empty. We have about maybe 10 feet left in it. We're planning to, yeah, like I said, this would be last year's silage left over. Planning to open our corn silage trench up today and start feeding a little out of that. If I just fed this would be enough to last us maybe 3 days. We probably should open the corn silage trench a little before to mix it in a little bit longer, but we've been fairly busy this week, and yeah, I don't think it'll change it that much. The trench might be a little wetter than what's in the ag bag, but yeah, it should be okay. Whenever we empty a trench out, or I'm sorry, whenever we empty an ag bag out, when you get right near the end, you have trouble if it's not up against anything. The bag sort of starts pushing away from you. So we always back a tractor in, like the back tractor wheels, like dead right beside the end of the bag. And we didn't do that yet, but we need to today, or it's going to start rolling away from us. And that gives you something to push up against, and it makes it a lot easier to get the bag cleaned up. It's been a while since I showed anything with the feeding because we've been so busy with other farm work that, yeah, we've had a lot of video content from field work and stuff. But yeah, our mixer is a Pat's 620. It's I think rated at 600 cubic feet, but then with that extension on the top, it's supposed to be closer to 700. It's a twin screw. Yeah, we've had it for a number of years, and I'll have to try to get a little video. We're having a little trouble with some things inside wearing thin, like the metal inside, not on the sidewalls. There's two little pieces that stick in kind of in between the two rotors that help keep everything mixing right, and they make little pieces to stick on there, I say little pieces, they're fairly big pieces that are bent exactly like they need to be to stick on there. And we welded 2 of them on the other day. There's 4 pieces, and there's 2 of one bend and then 2 of another bend, like 2 that are identical, and then the other 2, well, they ended up giving us 4 of all the same things. So the other 2 are supposed to come today. Here's some of our totes of seed. We get our seed in 2,000-pound totes like this, and there's a hole in the bottom that you can open up to drain them into the drill. And my son redid a pallet and made a hole in the bottom of the pallet about 18 inches square, where we can just pick it up over top with the skid loader, and it flows right out of there down into the drill. We used to like cut a hole in the side of the bags, and that worked, but this is a whole lot nicer. Anyway, we started out with probably close to 15 or 18 of these skids or sacks. We're down to, let me see, there's 5, 6, 7 here, and there's 3 more in the shops. That's 10. Actually, it probably started out with closer to 25 if I go back to the oat seed we got. Yeah. Anyway, yep, that's what they look like. They make these, we're sitting on a pallet so we can pick them up on a pallet, but to move them, there's four hooks here in the tops of the bags. There's 2 on each side. There's 1 here, and then there's 2, like 1 on each corner. Basically, there's 4, 1 on each corner. And yeah, you can stick your pallet forks in through them and pick them right up and set them over on the other skids. It works out pretty nice. Yeah, I was saying about those sack totes of grain. We actually had 21 or 22 total. Yeah, 2 of oats and 5 of wheat seed, and the rest is all triticale. We're planting 3 different varieties of triticale this year. We like to play around a couple different varieties. It's amazing the difference some of them make. The one we planted is Surge. We had planted some of that last year for the first time, and it did tremendously well. Tonnage and feed value, it was like 2-3% higher protein than any of the others. A lot, really leafy variety. And then there was another Thor that did really well last year too, so we're trying a little bit of that again. And the third one, I forget which it is, or what the name of it is right now. Some triticales will have a smooth head, some will have a bearded head, and we do let some of our triticale head out, like I mentioned in other videos. So what we let head out, we try to have that the smooth head. It just seems like it makes a lot better feed. And we had a field last year we wanted to get wrapped for the milk cows for bale age, and they got too old on us, so we ended up wrapping it for heifer hay, and it's making really good hay. They're cleaning it up, and it's one of them smooth head varieties. Made a pile of stuff, so yeah, it really worked out pretty good in our favor. So, but what we got on the other cuttings for the milk cows, we should have about enough hay for them. We try to feed at least a bale a day, a half a bale per feeding of wrapped hay. If we have enough, we'll feed a little more than that sometimes. Right now we're actually feeding 1 bale of one kind and about 1/3 of a bale a day of the other kind. Yeah, it sure is a beautiful day here in the state of Pennsylvania. We're baling some last cutting hay here today. It was one of these fields that had Sudex in it, and yeah, some young grass hay coming up in it as well. So it should make really nice baleage. Yeah, it's gonna be a chillier day. Yeah, sorry about that. My wrap wouldn't wrap on the baler, so or on the bale. But yeah, it's going to be a chillier day today. I think it's only supposed to get up to maybe 60 or 61. It's kind of got a good stiff breeze going, but we mowed it 2 days ago. It seems like it ought to be really nice. Yeah, I don't know. It seems half decent. I guess we'll see once what we get off of it. We got 40 couple acres we're going to bale and wrap today. Yeah, this year we didn't get near as much corn fodder as we normally like to get. I had mentioned about that before, and so we're going to bale up some of our soybean straw. We don't very often do that. We did a little bit a year or two here and there, but yeah, probably going to try to bale up at least 80 or 100 bale of it, so we don't have to buy quite as much bedding this winter. So next week they're planning to combine our soybeans, so we'll need to get that done as soon as they're dry enough to get. His son Willie often does the baling, and if he don't, my wife does some. But yeah, my oldest son, he had some parts to go pick up, and a little bit of other running to do, so he should be here after a bit to take over. Here's a windrow that's got some, and if it all be like this, it would have made a pile of stuff, but yeah, this windrow's really nice and thick. But we're still thankful for what we're getting. Could have been a whole lot worse. Screen we have that controls the baler, or the monitor with the screen on it. And yeah, those two black bars there in the center that are bouncing up and down, that's telling you how your bale is staying balanced in there. If it gets out of whack, as far as the one side's fuller than the other, it'll tell you on them bars. And then there you can see, there where the green bar is, that's the size of the bale. Yeah, it's 14, 15, 16 inches. I have it set for 53-inch bales right now. We're trying to make them rated 54, but I set it at 54 and half of them are getting 55, so I set it back a little bit. But yeah, when it gets within 6 inches of being a full bale, it'll beep at you once. And then when it gets clear full, it'll beep at you twice, and then it'll automatically start wrapping it. Yeah, there it beeped at me once. And stop. And if you watch this right down here, that tells you, right there at the bottom, it tells you where the wrap is. Yeah, then it beeps and has an air pointing up that's done wrapping and ready to kick it out. Ready to start all over again. Yeah, this electronic stuff is all good and fine as long as it works. But yeah, if it ever has any issues, then you have a lot of trouble. But yeah, it does pretty good. We don't have a lot of trouble with it, thankfully, at this point. We have a little calf here that was born prematurely. I say prematurely, it was about 2 weeks early, probably 2-3 weeks early. It's really, really small. Here's its mom. Yeah, it's the second calf she had, but the calf probably don't weigh more than 50 pounds. His hair is a little bit short, which that's usually the way they are when they're born a little bit early, but it's as lively and healthy as can be. So yeah, a lot of times when they're born early, they maybe don't do so well, but yeah, we'll give her a chance and see what happens. And yeah, they tend to be susceptible to getting sick way quicker when they're born early like this. But yeah, the mom's doing well. I'm not sure why she calved a little bit early, but yeah, she's doing quite well and seems to be okay, and everything else seems normal. Yeah, it's about 2 days old now. I think this is Saturday. It was born on Thursday afternoon or evening. So yeah, it'll be almost 2 days old. Yeah, we have quite a few springers again. I'm not sure. I didn't count exactly how many's in here, but probably close to 25. There's a bunch over there and a bunch here. There's a few that are fairly close. A lot of them are probably about a week to 10 days out, but there's some that'll be fresh before that. So Yeah, it's Saturday morning here again, and I milked this morning. They're drinking a lot of whey. I've said about the whey before, but yeah, we had filled this, or I had filled it up when we started milking, and yeah, they had it over half empty. So they always fill our we have two 4,000 gallon tanks that we store it in right outside the barn here, and they always fill them up on Saturday. We try to keep it that we keep the whey fresh. Usually if we feed it up in 4 to 6 days, in the cooler weather up to a week, because it's got a lot of salt in it. But here in the freestall barn, they put whey up here 3 or 4 times a week. But so yeah, we often only feed out of the one tank to make sure we're getting the one that's the oldest empty. But today they're coming to fill them both up, top them both off, and which it'll hold a whole load up here. So yeah, I'm using out of both of them this morning. Our 2 tanks we have outside each hold 4,000 gallons, so we can hold 8,000 gallons. The trucks they bring them out in are straight trucks that are 5,000 gallon tanks on them. So we feed a total of about 6 loads a week, probably 3 or 3.5 loads here at the freestall barn for the milk cows. The dry cows probably get a load and a half a week. They fill theirs up twice a week. It holds the tank holds 3,000 gallon and the trough holds 1,000. So yeah, it's not all totally empty. The one time they fill it up, everything is empty. The other time, it's mostly empty. Then we have the one day they bring a full load, and they put that part of it up at the heifers at the other farm, and the rest of it goes in the tank there by the sallows that we use in the TMR. They come every day except Sunday. They bring a load 6 days a week, and they put it at various places. They kind of have a set schedule what they fill up each day. But today the load they bring will all go up here at the freestall barn. There's what our 2 whey tanks look like right outside the barn wall here. And we have fill pipes that go across there and come down over here on this other side. They can fill them up from these pipes right here.
I can see you far and wide across the ocean, above the clouds. In your presence I am free. I hear your whisper through the wind. Here right now, there's no place that I would rather be. So let this moment last. I've searched myself, I've tried to figure